So the first thing I want to get into today, and we're going to talk about, is the Tyre Nichols not guilty verdict. We're going to watch some of that, of the 3 Memphis police officers who were found not guilty. So we're going to watch some of that. And then also, I've seen that people have been posting wanted dead or alive for those 3 officers. So we're going to get all into that, and let's just jump right into it.
We are following some breaking news. 3 former Memphis police officers have just been found not guilty on all charges in the state trial over the beating death of Tyre Nichols.
The jury reaching that verdict on just the second day of deliberations. Let's get right to NBC News correspondent George Solis. He's been tracking this. He joins us now. George, take us through the verdict.
Now, I will say, if you most people have seen that video, but it's horrible to see. I don't agree with them being not guilty, but it's the legal system. We got to go with the legal system and what the jury decided. So that we are a country of laws, so we got to go with what the jury says. But if you haven't seen that video, you can watch it. They got body cam footage out everywhere. I might show it again, probably not, but you can go check it out. But with caution. But let's continue on.
And the reaction inside the court.
Yeah, this verdict was unanimous over the course of 2 days after a trial had started back on April 28th. The jury coming back and delivering a not guilty verdict for all of the 7 counts in this indictment. They are as followed. The most serious, of course, being that second-degree murder charge. You heard the jury there saying not guilty for Demetrius Haley, Tadarius Bean, and Justice Smith. On count 2 for the aggravated assault act in concert, not guilty. For count 3, aggravated kidnapping, not guilty. Count 4, aggravated kidnapping, not guilty. Count 5, official misconduct. And then count 6, which was another count of official misconduct, both not guilty. And then count 7, that official oppression charge, also found not guilty. Within the courtroom, you saw a number of hugs that were taking place, obviously, from the officers. They're the former officers, their elation on their faces after this verdict was read. Again,
I thought about it. Let's go back. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up because we need to understand where this not guilty verdict and what they were thinking. So let me pull that up. It's gonna be easy to find. Let's pull it up. Yeah, this one should be good.
It appears Tyre Nichols was struck at least 9 times while Memphis police had him detained. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to caution you. Portions of the video are hard to watch. This is video when the officers first caught him the second time following his escape from them when they pulled him over for traffic stop. He's on the ground at times. Right there, he's up on his feet, but he ends up on the ground here shortly.
All right, so meanwhile, protests have been peaceful tonight in Memphis, but a group of demonstrators have closed parts of Interstate 55. Local reports say the group originally tried to gather in a nearby park, but the gates were closed. So they marched to the highway. Then they got on the highway, marched down the highway. They formed a line across a bridge, the bridge that goes over the Mississippi River. They vowed not to move. That's according to reporters on the scene. The group continues to block traffic, but again, the protests in Memphis so far tonight have remained peaceful. With more tonight about the video and also the reaction.
What you traffic stop January 7th while it was reported.
All right, so this seems to be more. We'll get into this. This seems to be more of the close-up of the video.
Driving, the Memphis chief said Friday she hasn't been able to substantiate that. You hear Nichols telling the officers he is complying.
I'm just trying to go home.
Then it's hard to tell what happens before you see a taser fired as Nichols runs away from the officers. Some of the officers eventually catch up to him in a neighborhood where he's taken down. A camera atop a pole in the area pivots to capture.
See, that is crazy. Y'all see that kick?
A camera atop a pole in the area pivots to capture what happens as more officers arrive. Audio from another body camera captures some of what officers were saying to Nichols. And you also hear him call for help.
All right. That's enough of that. Let's finish up with the trial stuff, but that's hard to watch. I don't see how you can get completely not guilty on all charges from that video. But if you agree with them not getting guilty, let's talk about it. We can always have a civilized discussion about what you're thinking, about what I'm thinking. So remember, let's talk about that. We can talk about that in the comments, but let's get back into the trial a little bit. We'll finish up this video.
Again, these three officers still face the prospect of years in prison after they were convicted in federal court of charges last year. Again, these were for the state charges. Some more reaction coming in forthcoming. We are waiting to hear from attorney Ben Crump, who we understand also put out a statement shortly after this verdict was read. We'll go ahead and get that to you. We have not heard at this point if there's any reaction from the mother of Tyre Nichols, who was one of the state's witnesses in this case. Very emotional, again, during this trial that began back on April 28th. Pretty quick turnaround when you consider how much this jury was charged with going down this list of charges. 21 counts between the three officers overall. But again, at this hour, the 7-count indictment, the jury coming back finding not guilty for all of these charges. And again, we'll wait to see what the sentencing is for those federal charges. Again, this story is developing over the course of this case, guys. I should note there were 21 witnesses brought in total. The state only bringing up 5, including Tyre Nichols' mother. Defense bringing 17 witnesses to this case. Again, reaction still forthcoming, and we're waiting to see if the former officers have any reaction post this verdict, guys.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about.
Now, that is crazy. I need to do a deeper dive into, I don't know if they released that, what exactly evidence they were shown, what the witnesses said that made them, because all I'm going off of is the video I've seen. And I'm pretty sure that's what the majority of people are going off of, what the videos that they've seen from the body cams. But that did not look like no charges. I don't know if you can get murder for it, but no charges? I don't know about that. Now, like I said before, there's a video going around about wanted posters, dead or alive. So we're going to get right into that.
On top of that, Benny and Memphis are
let me get right into it.
On top of that, Benny and Memphis are continuing to react to the not guilty verdicts in the death of Tyre Nichols. And tonight, the most shocking reaction of all: wanted posters, disturbing calls for vigilante justice.
Let's back that up a little bit so we can see. Pause it a second. Y'all see that? Wanted dead or alive. Dead or alive. Both of them. For crimes of beating Tyre Nichols to death and escaping justice. Whew. That is crazy. But some people obviously don't agree with the verdict. Like I say, they've gone through the justice system. That is our justice system. It's faulty at times, but hey, we got to live by it. They was found not guilty in their peers, so just got to morally, in the eyes of God, what will happen to them, that's up to the higher power. It's called, of course, if you believe in a higher power. But I'm not going to spend my time hunting these people down. But let's finish up this video.
For vigilante justice for the 3 former police officers who were acquitted in Tyre's death. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. The posters are located on light poles in Cooper Young. WREG's Raven Copeland has reaction to the verdicts and the message for the city during this time.
We have gotten so much injustice from this city.
Say that.
That is ridiculous.
Say that.
My son was murdered.
That's right.
By 5 Memphis police
That's
officers.
right. Murder.
He was murdered.
Murder.
And 3 of them got off.
There are people in the Memphis community who share some of the same emotions that Tyre Nichols' family is carrying. Some are more vocal than others. Wanted posters in Cooper Young say the 3 former officers are wanted dead or unalive for Nichols' deadly police beating.
I don't condone those posters at all. I haven't seen them. Have you seen them? Okay, I haven't seen those posters. I don't condone the posting of those posters. What I do understand is a deep hurt and agony and pain for people in this city right now.
Representative Justin Pearson says he encourages the community to express their emotions, but he advises them to do it in a nonviolent way. However, he also voiced his disappointment over Wednesday's verdict.
And for someone to see those videos of Tyre Nichols being beaten to death by these officers.
Exactly what I was saying. Just seeing the video, I don't see how you could get not guilty on all charges. But I don't know what was going through what the defense attorney said. I don't know any of that. But the main thing, no matter what the verdict is, there should be no need. Don't stoop to violence. Can't do that. There's main thing is we need to keep our emotions together and can't break down and especially lose your faculties and just go off. You ended up putting your own self in jail. But let's finish up this video.
And to come back with not guilty, like that does something.
The verdict in Nichols' deadly police beating has also resulted in distrust of the Memphis Police Department. However, Memphis Mayor Paul Young and Police Chief C.J. Davis say they're focused on restoring the community's perception of the city's law enforcement.
We recognize the pain and grief this incident has caused, and the men and women of the Memphis Police Department remain committed to rebuilding trust and working together toward a stronger, safer Memphis for all.
Reporting from Cooper Young, for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WRE.
All I can say is there are terrible police officers out there, of course, just like there's terrible human beings out there. We cannot just go and distrust all the police officers. Because why? Because we need them. We need them to protect us. That is their job. They investigate crimes. If something happens, if someone breaks into my house, and I use my legal right to defend myself, I will call. Next thing I'm going to call the police. That is what I want to do as a law-abiding citizen. I call the police when an emergency happens. Something is needed, violent, injury, something. The police are there, the ambulance, that's who I call. So can't distrust them, all the police, but the few bad cops, it makes it worse for the truly good cops who all they want to do is protect people to do their job. No. But that is it for the Tyre Nichols stuff. I'm gonna keep up. Like I said, I'll probably do I might do some research into if any of the evidence was shown and what exactly went through the courts. I don't know if I can find any of that, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what I can find. But that's it for that video. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.